What's up, everybody? Philly Soccer Page post-game show. I'm Mike Servideo here with Greg Orlandini tonight. Union draw Atlanta United 2-2 on a very, very late goal from Atlanta United after Philadelphia plays almost the entire second half, a man down after Josh Yaro's dismissal. Reaction after that one?
I think my tweet was after the goal went in was this was a tough one to swallow.
Yeah.
And it really was because the Union jumped out in front, got the 2 goals, gave one back, but went into the half up 2-1. Josh goes out early, but they organized really well. They defended. They set up in defensive blocks. Everybody kind of knew their role. They did it for most of the second half, and they were able to get forward a few times.
Yeah,
create something. But that last goal, and it's Andre Blake making a mistake, misreading the play for a split second, and that's not something he usually does. It happens, and he was off his line and mirrors with the header, and it goes in.
Yeah. Sometimes when a team goes down, it feels like that second or that goal from the other team is inevitable. It didn't feel like that in this game. It seemed like Atlanta really struggled to break the Union down, even when Philadelphia went down to 10 men.
I thought Atlanta was running out of gas. I thought they were kind of about at the 80th minute. They were kind of out of ideas. You just got the feeling they didn't have much left. They didn't have much left, but they had that one break, and that was all it took.
Let's talk about a couple of young Philadelphia Union defenders, all seeming to have different trajectories right now. It seems like Josh Yaro with another really big mistake tonight after a fairly sizable one in San Jose where he gives up a penalty kick. He gets a straight red card tonight for a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. Of all the terrible refereeing decisions tonight, that probably wasn't one of them. So it was a pretty clear-cut call. Keegan Rosenberry is finally restored to the side, does a fairly good job patrolling the right side, and we actually saw Richie Marquez tonight for the first time since June, who came in to play center back after Yaro's dismissal. Let's talk a little bit about those guys. First, what did you think of Keegan tonight?
I thought Keegan looked really good.
Yeah.
And he surprised me because in the cup matches and his couple spot fill-ins that he's done as a sub, he looked kind of tentative, not really sure what's going on, but from go, he looked like he belonged out there. It looked like Keegan from last year. Not completely, but as close to as we've seen.
I think that was probably his strongest performance that we've seen in 2017.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's one series where it was him and Panis, and I think Harris were combining, moving up
down the right
just
side,
kind of working that triangle, moving forward, and you can see what the team was missing.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Josh Yaro, who's had a little bit of a tough go of it the last couple of games with some really, really big mistakes. He gets sent off tonight. It's his second red card of the season. It doesn't seem like he's been the same player as he was last year.
No, he's not. And I think Jim brought it up. Didn't really have a preseason. Missed a chunk of the regular season. Is on a kind of. I think we talked about it on a podcast, when he gave up the PK again in San Jose. That's a guy that hasn't played. That's a guy that doesn't have a sharpness. That's a guy that's not reading the play really well. That's a guy that's not, his physical attributes are there. I thought he had, up to that point, had a pretty solid game. But it's those little moments that kind of having the preseason, having the connection with the other players, just having that little bit of sharpness that comes with just practicing, repetitions, playing, working with the other guys. He just doesn't have that right now, and you can point to all the time he missed.
I want to get back to that in 1 second. I want to bring up Richie Marquez just because it was the first time we've seen Richie since June. He's almost the forgotten man, a guy that had played over 50 straight games before he got hurt or got sick actually earlier this season. I thought he came in and did a decent job. Not much to say about it.
Did a fine job. Did what he had to do. It's funny. It's weird kind of what happened to him because he was looking like he was a stalwart of this team. Just made had a consecutive streak of starts and played. Was always seemed like one of the guys the Union leaned on, the coaching staff leaned on, and then he kind of disappears. But he was ready. He was ready when his number was called. Yeah.
Getting back to Josh Yaro for a second, and to touch on Keegan Rosenberry a little bit. I tweeted this from the Philly Soccer Page account, and I think it's been a little confusing for all of us, from the press to the fans alike, of what each young player has to do to get on the field and what pulls them off the field, because it seemed like Josh has had a definitely a longer leash than what Keegan Rosenberry or even Richie Marquez has had.
Yeah, I'll even throw Gillen Wijnaldum in because he's had some really difficult games, and he and I don't even think there's a question if he starts or not. And he keeps getting run out there. I don't know. They are treating these guys case by case basis. Could be something in training. Could be other things. Some intangible thing they think each player has or doesn't have. It doesn't seem spread out equally among those defenders.
Really nice goal from Ali Bedoya tonight with the overhead kick after Jack Elliott flicks it onto the near post. I was a little bit critical of Ali Bedoya's play in the game against Toronto on Wednesday. I didn't think he's really lived up to the billing this season. I thought tonight was probably one of his strongest performances.
Oh yeah, I think he had a great game, just being that box-to-box guy that we need him to. The Union needs him to be, and had the big goal. Had some really good defensive efforts, moved the ball when he had it, like kind of that's his strength, kind of shuttling the ball, moving the ball along. And I just want to say the post-game press conference. I mean, that was a man. He was a beaten man. I mean, he left it on the field.